It's Friday, February 28th, just following up on the SPY here. You can see after buying calls on bar number 3, it worked up towards that pre-market high target. I mentioned on the previous video that was kind of a key inflection point. You can see it tried to kind of pause there, maybe fail. If we would have had a red bar and then followed through lower, that could have been the start of a green to red move on the day, but instead it hesitated up there. Now it's breaking up even higher. So, everything's going fine to me as long as it kind of continues on an upward path here. There's some targets to fill in this gap in this area, kind of to the midpoint of this red bar. I don't know how much higher it can go from there, but again, if you watch bar by bar, you never know. The options are still moving up nicely. Bought the 580 calls at 11.16. They're asking like 12.55 right now. So all kinds of ways to, do no worse than break even, to take small gains. You can watch each 15-minute bar and kind of judge what's happening because, you're still in an overall downward mode here, but you are getting a little bit of a spike back to the upside, which is always, there's always a few green bars that might unfold in downtrends. The weekly chart, it's kind of interesting as we came into this gap support area. Is it possible we get a big green bar today and maybe this weekly bar, closes red, but not as strongly red as it could have. And that might lead a little hesitation going into next week. We'll kind of judge where the opening price is next week and see whether we go up or down. We're still kind of expecting to test these lows, but we're going to have to see, on a daily chart how that unfolds. Should we get a stronger rally by the end of the day and this weekly chart ends up a little, less red than it could. So anyway, we're going to see what happens here as we continue higher. I still don't have much, expectations that it's going to go much higher, but you never know bar by bar. So I think it's a good base hit kind of gain into this area. We'll watch each bar, but I just wanted to kind of show you how it hit its target. You kind of watch what happens. It seemed to want to, pause and head higher. Now we'll just watch bar by bar and see, where it can go. And the failure at this point is going to come back through this pre-market high range and kind of, it really has to get through the midpoint of this first bar to me to really, have a strong failure on the day. So at this point, I wouldn't buy puts, I don't think, on an immediate big red bar here because we're still with up structure. But the only way that would unfold to me is a big red move down that kind of pauses a little bit, and then you get the feeling it's going to make one push down to test those lows of the day. But until that happens, I'm kind of biased to the upside here. It's just a question of how far into this red bar we're going to eat. If somehow we get strongly above the midpoint of this bar, it is possible we come all the way back up by the end of the day. It would be very surprising, but again, anything's possible with price action. So let's just see where it goes. To me, I'm kind of anticipating just a move kind of into the midpoint of this red bar at the most. But, we'll just watch and see if we get one push, some kind of orderly pause, and a second push, towards that target.